How do I keep fucking failing this particular check? Alright, so at this point, I'm at a bit of a loss of what to do, but I think I have a plan. So, yeah. So what I want to do is actually, basically I'm gonna try to do a bunch of these, white checks that are available to us, but I'm gonna start with, this stuff. So we're gonna go back through the secret areas of the whirling just to see if there's anything else that we can look at and do that will help us with this. And we're also gonna look at the site of the murder again, because there's a couple of things that are white checks that we can do. So alright, let's slowly leave the church. Actually, you know what? As long as I'm in the church, I'm just gonna investigate the rest of this. Some things to look at. I had a feeling there'd be some new stuff to look at. This looks like a tiny chemistry lab. Those Nosify bottles. Tanks of distilled water. They brought all their shit from the tent into the church, as I guess one would expect. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a lab here. Nah, nothing. A few things. We got 3 XP because of the thought that we have. Now we can fast travel back to the whirling. Okay, let's go back through the whirling secret areas first. We can start from the bottom, because we've opened that door now. Yeah, probably nothing going on with that pinball machine. You know, that's maybe a white check we could retry, but... Let's see, Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be anything to re-examine up here, but we might as well try.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
That's something new. The prints look like one person went back and forth.
Between that and that.
He points to the elevator doors in the corner, and then he points to the barred door.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
So someone was going back and forth between the doors. Okay. I wonder if having seen those footprints will help us with the footprints outside the whirling. In the, near the body. Let's find out. See, can we redo this?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Nope. I have a feeling it's gonna be the same story with the footprints. Goodness, little shit show. Alright.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Okay, well, looks like putting points into visual calculus is going to be our next thing. Why is our visual calculus 0? Thoughts. Zovian's social economics. Does raise our intellect base, but reduces our visual calculus in specific. Alright, oops. Again. Escape is not the way. Maybe it should be the way. Okay, well, let's check out some white checks that we can do. Try to ask her out again, I suppose. Samaran butter. Insert, we have to slowly scroll through. They keep making updates to the game, but they don't fix the bugs that I experienced. There's an additional check with Andre, I guess. Yeah, the volition check. The choice. Is that about getting money from her? Might be. I don't think we want to do this one. This is shaving. I don't think we want to do this one either. You're supposed to do the Samaran butter thing. Which seems to be just this way. Oh, we've got a new configuration of this guy over here too. Says
everything's still cool here, officer.
No. I mean, might as well try it. It's a white check. Let's see what the fuck happens.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Yeah, no need at all. Just ask him for money, and he'll hand it over. You. I want your money. Now.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
I don't really remember how to be corrupt, but I am. So, please? I don't know. It was just the only thing I could come up with in my head to ask you. I need to get money somehow.
Ah, yes. Money is very important.
The street vendor nods. Dead serious.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
The man grins as if the entire incident is already forgotten. worth trying, I guess. It's a little thing over here.
Keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
Yeah, I guess I'll buy some of his clothes, even though I don't want them. Maybe we'll see if they trigger any thoughts.
Gotta prepare for springtime. Right?
Yeah, let's see if they trigger thoughts. The nylon wind cheater is so dynamic, it wraps around you like a membrane. Equipped with a stowable hood, the backside of the garment is covered in sport and summer-related text. It swishes softly as you walk. Let's, put it on. How ridiculous is that? Also, let's put the speed away. It doesn't seem to give us anything to think about, but...
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
It's amazing that that increases our perception. I guess I'll take
Sporty
it.
and practical, officer. Good choice.
Oh, I can't wait to see what this looks like. What do we have on now? Increases our authority? What the fuck? Oh, shit. I'm gonna go back to our, let's see. Let's put this on. Empathy at 8, suggestion at 10. Sure, so this should let us pass 16 checks for suggestion. How do I get to there? Maybe I just walk over here. Footfall within. Not human. Up there, the phasmid, perhaps? No. You know it's but a dog. What was the simmer and butter thing? Oh my god. So that seems to be... near the swing set? Maybe. Let's give it a try, I guess. Can we get in here? Doesn't look like it. As long as we're over here, maybe we'll try to ask Lillian out again. No, nothing over here. The swing set's over here, right? Yep. I don't know what the samurai butler thing is. Don't know. Let's check inside this shack, maybe? Nope. Nothing in there. Alright, we're back here, so, I've got my suggestion code on, right? Yep. Okay. Let's, see what happens.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast.
Kim's
What's on your
presence
mind, officer?
makes it awkward. I agree, but,
Alcohol, man. That's exactly what she needs. Now make her see that.
how do I keep fucking failing this particular check?
Okay. Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer. Anyway, what did you want?
She doesn't even understand you asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
Wow. Okay. I'm literally running out of useful things to do. So sorry, YouTube. This is probably very boring. Maybe. Can do some reading. Do some books. We read our Shamdal book. You've read that. We haven't read this. Oh ho. La Fumée, the leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism, offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Faisal, with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. Alright, let's interact with this.
The front of this
thing.
quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Faisal. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why antlers?
Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it.
Interesting.
A shameful way to treat a former king, even one as underwhelming as Faisal.
No, are we sensitive endurance? Why Faisal?
Because Faisal was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
I see. Let's flip through the pages to see what catches my
To your
eye.
disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
There's no pictures?
No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical commentary?
Good question.
After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Let's read that editor's note first.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal a la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism.
Poetic.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
It's, bold.
Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary.
It's an interesting thought.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
I love how he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
A long, tedious critique.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are.
Must be American.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst und Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. That certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth who likes to harass you from her balcony.
Cindy the Skull. Hey! Nice catch, Authority. In just a moment, what is this tip-top tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing.
Okay. Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about tip-top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers.
Because I guess I've already forgotten what I'm reading.
Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
I feel like the main writer of this game was in a lot of really, how to put it, opaque leftist circles in college. Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
So it's basically like this world's version of NASCAR. Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. Just a moment. Those names seem awfully familiar.
That's all you have to say, Rhetoric? Okay. What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita.
Right. But then you get to see a crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow. You're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Apotheosis of spectacular entertainment. Let's go with the gentler option for Kim. Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tournée for the races.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I'd take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Well, let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta.
That's bold.
Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
I don't think that's illegal, but Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward.
That part is true.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Alright, as I was reading that magazine, I remembered a thing. But hey, we also got a thought.
Arno van Eyck. Okay, so Egghead is clearly not Van Eyck in disguise. Van Eyck is an Oranese disc jockey, but those people get around, especially in Revachol, in the clubs on Boogie Street. Perhaps he stayed here for a short stint and discarded part of the song he was working on, just threw it away. And then it ended up in the Hawthorn tree. But why? Did he think it was retrograde? It wasn't. Perhaps he caught a glimpse of the future and did not want for it to arrive just yet. Perhaps the city whispered the top line to him, and he was frightened by it.
Oh yeah, this was the thought that was related to why the random ass tape we found in the hawthorn tree just happened to go perfectly with the rest of the beach, right? All motorics white checks unlocked. Oh, reveals Arnold Van Eyck cake posters in the world. That's cool. I like that the last couple of thoughts that we've put into our little thought cabinet actually change the way that we can interact with the world. That's cool. The Motorix white checks unlocked. That's actually really, really fucking good. Because now, maybe, we can do this.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Maybe it meant it's unlocking Motorix white checks that I haven't uncovered yet. Damn it. See, escape gets you out of that. Anyway, the thing that I thought to do, see, can I fast travel from here? No, I have to be right next to my shack. I'm excited to see gate posters. It's kind of cool. Was that weird lady that's clearly been experiencing the Pale over here that we learned about from, at least that we made an initial connection about after we talked to Joyce. So let's see if we can talk to her about more things.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
Pale driver. This makes sense now. Snap our fingers in front of their face.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
Sticks a filterless cigarette into his cigarette holder and reaches for the light. You're a Pale driver. You transport goods through the Pale.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale, and now he's talking to everyone about
it. Kim.
Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
Everything is related to the Pale, Kim. My condition, the case, everything. It's all anthroponetic.
That is exactly what I didn't want you to think. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale transport.
No offense. But your partner?
She lights the cigarette. A white and silver cloud of smoke disappears into her mouth.
Seems like a bit of an idiot.
Not wrong.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mist.
I blacked out after a night of heavy drinking and I lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Pergunte a Poeira. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything. Even things I never knew.
Things you never knew?
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling Piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Radiation. I'm not usually confused by the props. So I'll go with this one, I guess.
Heroic doses, Harifia. Heroic.
Must be from over it. Okay, I get it. Isn't that dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this...
She gestures at the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it look like? Pale.
Like looking into the ocean at night, in the dark. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets and electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it.
Interesting. How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the cell windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
Not on this lorry, then?
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
She points to the machines, clumped up like toys.
The wheels all small and round. Multi-axle trailers.
One last thing. You said we can just become... vapor?
Yes.
Interesting prompts. Wow. My dude's been such a sad sack. I'm gonna go with this. I would rather have what you have than what I have.
They say there's a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction.
Huh.
It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
She looks at her cigarette. It's almost out. She has swallowed it hungrily. Then at you. The motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not Pale drivers. Way beyond the established Pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
And what is at the end of the motorway south?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child growing on the leg.
Ma'am?
Josiane.
A sigh escapes her lips, then silence, as she steers within
There
herself.
is nothing more to do now. She's far away.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective.
He inspects her. No response.
Let's get some air. This one's far gone.
He shakes his head silently as he turns to leave. Oh, Cam, you're so cool, but you lack imagination.